Gaijin really let this one slip by. I think I know why. Good afternoon, you wee bastards, and welcome back to another War Thunder devlog video with Koala. Today, we're taking a look at a tank that you might have completely missed, as there was no official devlog posted about it. Just the store page, which had a video, some images, and some information. Store page, you ask? Yes, that's right, the tank you're seeing in front of you is a Russian 9.0 premium, the T-55AM. I wonder if Gaijin actually paid attention to my video on fixing the XM1 by adding more top tier premiums to other nations, or whether this was the plan all along. Either way, I can tell why they kept so quiet about its introduction. Yes lads, there are going to be more noobs playing top tier tanks. We're not going to go into that kind of worms right now though, we're just going to focus on the tank itself. The T-55AM is a modernised T-55A developed in the 1980s alongside the modernisation upgrade for the T-62 which we already see in game. The armour increased comparably with the distinct eyebrows on the turret, and the tank received a new fire control system for the familiar 100mm D10T gun and the Bastion ATGM system with missiles penetrating up to 600mm of armour. A laser rangefinder was added along with a smoke grenade system and rubber side skirts which we see on the T-62M1 and T-64B, and this brought the weight of the tank to well over 40 tons, over 5 tons heavier than the T-55A. Because of this, a new, more powerful 620 horsepower engine was fitted to the T-55AM, allowing it to reach a top speed just shy of 55 kph, although it may not accelerate or maneuver as fast as the T-55 in the regular tech tree. At 9.0, this will prove a serious drawback. The 100mm gun will not have particularly high penetration, so while it will retain the ability to fire easy one-shotting APHE shells, with comparatively abysmal penetration, speed, and a small amount of add-on armour that will not be enough to tip the scales in its favour, there's absolutely no way I can recommend buying this tank. It definitely won't be as good as the XM1, which is a tank just about good enough for 9.3, but not quite. This is a tank that's only just good enough for 9.0, and possibly not quite. And I can promise you, those 10.0 up tiers will not be friendly to this thing. It won't be particularly unique as the T-55A and T-62M1 already exist in the regular tree, both of which already struggle to function as they're designed within the meta of top tier, which relies almost entirely on mobility and reactionary ability. Not only that, but the Object 120 Terran and IS-6 are still better premiums for grinding and probably just for fun, with the Terran remaining among the most broken, bullying vehicles in the game. Battle ratings are, as I always say, subject to change from now until live patch release, but with somewhat substantial add-on armour, new smoke systems, rangefinder, ATGMs and engine power output, there's no way this thing will be placed at the same battle rating as the regular T-55A, meaning that it's gonna be endless 10.0 up tiers for you. Don't get me wrong, I'm actually excited to see this tank in game, despite how ineffective I predict it being. I just wouldn't spend money on it. The bundle pack comes with 2,000 golden eagles and over 2 weeks of premium though, and there does exist a double premium pack with twice those figures, the T-55AM and the premium helicopter Mi-24D Hind, which will bring with it access to the closed beta for helicopters shortly after patch 1.81 drops. If this makes the modernised T-55A worth buying for you, please, go ahead. But do not be buying this expecting it to be an amazing grinding monster, or even a remotely effective vehicle. It's going to get endlessly bullied at 10.0, far more so than the XM1, which may have just as many drawbacks as this tank does on paper, but while both tanks have their pros and cons, their strengths and weaknesses, the XM1 far better suits what the meta of top tier War Thunder requires than the T-55AM ever could. Seriously, the game would have to be changed to unrecognisable levels in order to achieve the type of meta that would make a tank like this effective enough to be worth buying, given how expensive it is. This tank only saw limited use in real life, being used with anti-RPG screens in Afghanistan. I expect most users of the T-55A recognise the impracticality of such an expensive upgrade package for a heavily outdated tank, and opted to just purchase T-72s instead. Oddly enough, however, several modernisation variants of the T-55 were produced, some even with active protection systems. With helicopters using ATGMs as their main armament likely to see significant use at top tier, At the very least, while they're still new, this variant may have proven quite interesting if it were added, possibly even enough to justify the price of the 9.0 bundle. But I'm almost 100% certain this variant won't be added, so I'm just going to leave you by saying that when I made my video on the devlog for the T-64B, saying that it would be lackluster against the M1 Abrams, Russian fans raged at me for apparently having no idea what I was talking about and being a dumb Abrams fanboy, that the add-on armor and ATGM system would be more than enough to have the tank match up with the competition. It was among the world's best examples of a main battle tank, so special that Russia never dared export it, and that I should do some research before saying stupid stuff like the T-64B wouldn't be good enough. And what happened? The T-64B has been getting its ass handed to it for months, with the lowest win ratio of any top tier vehicle, and among the lowest kill-death ratios according to Thunderskill. The ATGMs are pointless and almost never used, and the trade-off of mobility for armor loses it almost every game where it doesn't have either the Germans or Americans to do the heavy lifting for it. The T-62AM-1 being added last patch is exactly the same, and the T-55AM will be joining them on that front. They just don't suit what the game requires. The T-80B coming this patch should even the playing field significantly, but all that means is that there'll be a 10.0 Russian tank to make sure the T-55AM gets dragged up every single match. So, if you want to tell me that I'm an idiot for underestimating the T-55AM and that it'll perform amazingly because of its ATGM system and Stellinium add-on armor technology, all I ask is that you take a step back before throwing those sorts of comments around. Seriously guys, I know what I'm talking about. If you have purchased the T-55AM pack, I honestly feel kind of sorry for you. Most people are going to be saying they wasted their money, but I hope you can get as much enjoyment as possible out of the tank to make it worthwhile, as you're not likely to get a refund. At the very least, you should wait to purchase the tank after you've been able to test it out during the dev server, if you do particularly want to get it, but I can honestly say I would never spend money on this thing. Be prepared for it to completely suck. If I do happen to be wrong, and the T-55AM performs amazingly well, I'll be sure to make a follow-up to this video saying so, but that seems highly unlikely, and especially with new players being able to use this top-tier vehicle, well, I'm just going to say this will be the end of the discussion. It's not going to be that effective. Anyway, I hope you lads have enjoyed this video. Please leave a like if you have, and subscribe if you haven't already. Come follow me at all the links in the description below, and let me know your thoughts and predictions regarding the T-55AM. At the very least, it's a really interesting addition, and great that Gaijin is adding more 9.0 premiums, as I've spoken about this prospect multiple times in the past. I just wish they'd hurry up and give us our T-72 Euro already. Apparently, though, that won't happen this patch. Anyway, lads, remember, keep your bagpipes to hand, your kilt on, and I'll see you in the next one.